I wanted to know more about how you chose the performers. Like Graffiti Rock was your first thing, right?
Yeah, it was the pilot.
Yeah.
The pilot aired in 88 markets around the country, which is a lot. We got pretty good ratings. We did really well. How we picked who we wanted to pick. First of all, you have to understand, at this time, nobody's thinking about hip hop on national television but me. You know, I mean, yes, at this stage, you know, little magazine shows like Ripley's Believe It or Not had breakers on it, maybe. Or, you know, you'd have little moments where elements of hip hop would be on TV. But a TV show that was devoted to hip hop culture was unheard of. And hardly anyone that I discussed it with believed it could be possible. They were like, and even back then, even not that much earlier than that, people found it hard to believe that you could even have a radio show devoted to hip hop.
Yeah.
That you could even get hip hop songs or rap songs on the radio. It was like hard to, you do have to have been there back in those days to believe how much resistance there was to hip hop culture and how much disbelief in it that there was by the general market. So when I was going around to get people to be in the show, at the same time I'm working on promoting Beat Street because I was a producer on Beat Street. I was juggling like 18 chainsaws at the same time. It didn't make things easier. But, you know, I had to get a really integrated audience, even though my preference probably would have been to have had a majority black and certain percentage, like maybe 75% black and 20% Puerto Rican and maybe 5% white crowd. That wasn't going to work on national television. There had to be a mix of white kids, black kids, Puerto Rican kids, Asian kids even. So I did that. That was a compromise a little bit. But I made sure that I got people who understood the culture and were from the scene. I was already working with Special K and Kool Mo D from the Treacherous Three. We were friends working on different projects already. So that was easy to bring them in. I had thought about either getting Mr. Magic or Fab Five Freddy to be the host of the show, but there was so much going on and everyone was doing so many different things. It was just easier in a way for me to be the host.
Right.
Run DMC was critical to get on the show. And I had a relationship with Russell Simmons and Def Jam. I'd been working for them. I'd made music videos for them. I'd been, you know, in relationships with Def Jam. I made I produced and directed the Christmas in Hollis video for Run DMC.
Oh,
I
wow.
directed the Adidas commercial that they did. So I had a relationship with Def Jam. So that was easy for me to approach Russell Simmons to get Run DMC on. Shannon was not hip hop, but, you know, the people that I worked with and producers, they were really pushing me to not have it all exclusively hip hop, to kind of like spread out a little bit. The New York City Breakers was the crew that I created, so that was easy to put them on the show. So that's kind of how I put together the talent and the audience. I really wanted it to be a studio show, like a Soul Train, you know, unlike some people criticized the show and said, oh man, you should have made it, Graffiti Rock should have been on the streets of the Bronx, you know, or you should have gone into different places. And, you know, maybe I should have, I don't know. But I really wanted, my intent back then was to elevate the culture, to take it out of the streets of the Bronx and put it in an expensive, high quality TV studio. I wanted to elevate the culture and put it where I felt it belonged and where it was headed.
And what I was gonna say to note to that was that what I enjoyed about it was seeing it in the context of that studio, seeing it in that space being performed, and seeing like Grandmaster Flash. I'm sorry, not Grandmaster Flash. Kool Mo D and Run DMC battling in that space, and seeing like the dancers moving around. It just was such a for lack of a better term, kind of a mind fuck. Like it was like the first time that you're getting to see these things outside of just like a smoky nightclub or
Yeah. Oh, and then
the
of course
rubble of the
I
Bronx.
had Brim, the graffiti artist Brim, who I'd worked with. These are all people I'd been working with for years as a hip hop impresario and filmmaker.